Hello and welcome to the, West Gym at Baldwin-Woodville for a triangular between St. Croix Central, Amery, and Baldwin-Woodville. Right now you can see there's senior night, so they had just recognized the senior wrestlers, and right now they're recognizing the senior cheerleaders. And you wouldn't be able to hear it very quiet. I can hardly hear it, so putting my mic up to it won't help. Eventually I'll be joined by Dave Ramberg, which is very fortunate for you all because my wrestling knowledge is very limited. I'm just the usual cameraman. But I believe up first it'll be Baldwin-Woodville against Amery. And like I said, eventually Dave Ramberg will join us up here and he'll have a whole lot more information, such as the starting weights, maybe what each team has to offer, how the seasons have gone. But it's the first home meet here, and at least I think it was February 1st of last year was the last time we had a home wrestling event. We also host regionals, not this Wednesday, but the next Wednesday. It's a very busy night. If you're at home, there's lots of Baldwin events you could tune into if you're a Blackhawk fan. I believe the girls and boys are both at Somerset. Back-to-back. I believe actually the girls are playing right now. Then the boys play after. I believe there's boys hockey. Home that. And I think the Fusion maybe played yesterday, but I'll stop talking in honor of National Anthem. So again, this is Zach Ambrose. I'm usually the cameraman, but Jeremy Nygaard is in Somerset. And I believe, like I had said, Dave Ramberg may eventually join us. He was just announcing the middle school events. Maybe he's taking a quick break. I believe Max wrestles this weekend. Max Ramberg, state champion of, he was 2 or 3 years ago. All the years blend together. But as you can see, first we got Baldwin and Amery, and then it'll be Amery and Central, and then finally Baldwin and Central. The Highway County Road J rivalry, Highway 12 rivalry, whatever you want to call it. But until Mr. Ramberg joins us, like I said, and I do not know much about wrestling, so I can't offer very much commentating, but I am offering video, a little bit of zooming in on the video. Then maybe you have two TVs and one TV has the volume on another one and you're just watching this one. But I also will try to turn on the comments, and as long as they stay appropriate, because that's why it's not always on right away, because things can get inappropriate. And people can comment, or if you can't hear us, you can comment on that. Looks like first we have, I think that's Trevor Murdoch for Baldwin. I'm going to know the Baldwin kids. I will not know the Amery kids. Yep, Trevor Murdoch. Baldwin gets a forfeit at 2:15. We have Sam Aho for Baldwin. Up next, don't see anyone for Amery. That might also be a forfeit. Indeed. Another forfeit, another 6 points. And I do see an Amery kid ready with headgear. See a Baldwin kid, so hopefully we'll get one in this next match. Oh. Robbie from Amery. Another forfeit, 3 in a row. I wonder what the record is. Good thing I'm good at skip counting by sixes. Another forfeit. James Griffin, I believe you said. Griffith. We have a tightly contested 12-12 at the moment. Amery takes the lead, 18-12. If I was a betting man, I would bet on another forfeit, and I would lose. That's why you don't gamble, folks.
At 126, wrestling for Amery will be Blade Anderson. For Baldwin-Woodville, Kane Ferrello.
And we have a pin. Brandon Anderson, I believe, Mr. Timmerman said. Don't really have a program either. Pretty empty-handed.
At 132, wrestling for Amery, Weston Ingham. For Baldwin-Woodville,
Ingham and Sir J. Weary. To make up for my lack of commentary, like I said, we'll do a lot of zooming. It's like you're watching Big Ten wrestling. Not middle border wrestling. And there we go, another pin.
winner at 132 by fall, Weston Ingham from Amery.
Weston Ingham gets the first period pin.
Winner by forfeit at 138, Zoe Trout from Amery.
Zoe Trough, I believe. Not sure who we have here for Baldwin. Everybody's got blonde hair.
At 144, wrestling for Amery, Antonio Sol.
Travis Kuhn.
Baldwin-Woodville, Travis Kuhn.
Potentially next year's running back. Oh, you folks are lucky. The man, the myth, the legend has arrived. Could hear the lights. Oop. Ooh, there's been, was there 4 or 5 forfeits? Whoop. Gotta find where your mic is. I think you're 1. I think it's.
Oh, right.
There you are. I think because I think we started at 2:15. Or like 4 straight forfeits, maybe. I think it was 12 to 18 before a match actually happened.
Well, I think Baldwin's forfeiting 106 through 126. So
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. I talked to Coach Newt for a little bit, but we had our middle school meet before, and it's kind of the tale of two. I think they have forfeits up top. So, yeah.
We have them down low.
Yep. We don't have any little guys, but next year we're going to have a bunch of little guys, but no middleweight guys.
Can never get it all at once. Well, you can, and that's when you are a really good team.
Yeah. Yeah. We can talk about Hammond. They got their own problems. filling out a team due to sickness and injuries, and so. Well, it looks like Mr. Sowell is. I know he's ranked pretty high. I didn't look at any rankings today, but they got a couple. Amery's got a couple really studs. Got Lane Anderson, who's wrestled Colton Hush the last few years for the conference title, is finally a senior. They have a Weston Ingham, whose oldest brother was a junior college national qualifier and a place winner, an All-American in junior college, and his other brother that graduated last year is he's already got, they can use 5 starts, and I think he's used 3 of them now with the varsity for the Badgers. So he was at 132, and I believe he's the number 1 ranked guy in D2 in state. So after that, I know some of the names, but don't know them all. So right now we got Mr. Sowell's up 13-2, and he's working Travis Kuhn pretty hard. On top of the bar, I'm thinking got a little minute left. There's kind of an interesting, well, it's second period. I kind of thought he might cut him by now and take him down. Got a stall call on bottom, which I don't know. I've always hard time when you're trying to fight off a pin. I just have a hard time getting anybody a stall call. But with the new rules this year, they're slowly moving a little more toward freestyle.
Wow. What's the biggest new rule then? 'Cause I don't know anything about the new rules.
Well, the new rules, the takedowns are now worth 3 points.
Oh, wow.
And for back points, instead of having 2 and 3, you have to get a 5 count for 3. Now it's 2 swipes is 2 points, 3 swipes is 3 points, 4 swipes is 4 points. So you get a takedown and a quick turn, you're up 7-0.
Oh, jeez.
So and there's a pin in right at the end of the second from Mr. Sewell. Tony. Little different configuration tonight. Baldwin-Woodville is in the middle. I don't know what brought that on, but whatever Coach Newt wants, that's what he should get.
And so we have here, oh, Drake Gartman, there we go.
Yeah,
Is he a senior now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like he's been around forever
It
because
does.
his brother.
Yeah.
Harlan Stone, a sophomore. So I know they, a couple years ago, they had a good group of 8th graders. So and I see quite a few of their lineup. They're young also. Only a few seniors on the team. A lot of sophomores, it looks like. So they also have a new coach this year.
Oh, do they?
Yes, Mike Kelly's now at Rice Lake, and Rourke Langer, a state champ from Ellsworth, took over the program. A lot of coaching changes around the middle border.
Yeah.
Well, looks like Drake Gartman's got a, yep,
There we go.
got a takedown, got a bar, and he got the pin.
I feel like I should recognize our kids better, but I don't.
This is Wes Brosh.
Wes Brosh, okay, yeah.
And that's a name that's been around. Of course, he had a brother that was 2 years older, so there's 6 years of Brosh as wrestling.
Yeah. They don't have a little sister, do they?
Yes.
Basketball, though.
Yes, basketball,
Yeah.
8th grade. And maybe she's 7th, I think 8th grade. But kind of talked to their coaches, and she's probably would make a good wrestler.
Yeah. I drove middle school girls to Prescott, and I was like, she plays really aggressive in basketball.
Well, they have a cousin, the Wang family, and Calvin is a 6th grader. He wrestled a couple
Oh, yeah,
matches
I know
tonight.
that name, yeah.
So he kind of reminds me of both Cole and Wes. So Mr. Dosh is in on a shot, and he's getting defended. Here's a little go behind. Wes Brosh scores first. So this is kind of where, when I walked up here, I went, oh boy. But Newt had said, When we had the middle school meet, he came by and was saying, "Hey, we're going to score a lot of points up top, and then we're going to score a lot down low." So I think it looks like their highest weight they have is 165,
Jeez.
but they could move somebody up to 175 too. That's where Baldwin's strength is.
Is that where Taden is right now?
Taden is Taden's 157, but he's wrestling probably 165 for the team.
Oh, okay. What did he start at? What was his first tournament? Wasn't it one?
Yeah, so we went to Minnesota, and I think their weight classes are a little different. They only have 13, so I think he wrestled 170. But you know, Wisconsin's got this weight descent plan, so he had to weigh in at 167 and 4/10
Oh,
in order for him to wrestle 165 the next weekend. And early in the year, coming off state football, that 4/10 was a big deal to him.
yeah.
I think he did weigh it in, then he dropped it. So I think we made him weigh in at 165.3 just to make sure we had it.
He was looking thick in football.
Yeah, he was.
Me and Jim kept talking about how much he actually weighs, maybe at state championship, and Jim always went, "Oh, he's not that much."
Yeah. Well, there's wrestling weight, and then there's walking around.
Oh
weight.
yeah, yeah.
So,
What do you think he was walking around at then at the end of the season?
you know, I've heard various reports, but I'll stick to my guess was 175 to 180.
Oh, okay.
You know, I heard reports that he was 190, but that's a lot.
Yeah.
For a kid that's what, 5'6"?
5 set, yeah.
Well, maybe he's 5'7", but you know, as you get older, like me, yeah, you can walk around in a lot heavier weights. But all right, end of the first period. Wes is up at early takedown. He's up 3-0 over Mr. Dosh from Amery. So, yeah, going back to the rules, and they kind of, Wisconsin's always been a little behind. They want to hold so the NHFS, which you're very familiar with, the governing body for all sports, Wisconsin really wants their voting rights, and then you basically have to follow the rules to a T. Well, so in wrestling, when we had that meet last year and we brought over a team from Minnesota, we had the refs had to explain
Oh, yeah.
the out of bounds rules because they're completely different and certain other rules, and it's just the idiosyncrasies of all of it. It just
Kind of like basketball at Minnesota, shot clock. They don't have the cylinder. Maybe they do.
yeah, and I've heard most of the sports are kind of different in Minnesota too. Minnesota they could care less about having their vote at the table. They're going to do what's best for their athletes, and in today's world, without getting political, I guess I understand that.
Yeah.
Overall, I think Wisconsin basketball is better. But boy, in football, I think is better. About the same how they're ranked, but start getting into the Olympic sports, boy, they're good. Minnesota's good all the way through, where Wisconsin has pockets. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Here we go. Tanner Holdorf says, I can report that I've seen him step on the scale at 185.
Was that, Tanner?
Yeah.
Was that after a couple cans of pop and some junk food? I did say 175, 180. Was that before workout?
A lot of variables.
Yeah, a lot of variables. So it's, and this is something that I was talking to the middle school Phi Ed teacher about, and I forget his last name.
Colson?
Colson,
Yeah,
yes, Colson. And we're just talking about nutrition. So, after the meets with the middle school, we stop and I try to catch the kids, read the labels. Nutrition's kind of gone out the window a little bit compared to when I was younger, where you planted everything in the garden.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting situation. So Mr. Brosh tacked on 2 more points on a reversal. Somebody must have been stalling. So Mr. Brosh has a 5-1 lead on the power of a takedown and reversal. Going in the third. Looks like they're both on their feet. And away they're going. Well, the one thing, Baldwin, we had a great football season this year.
Oh yeah.
But with the great football season come with a few injuries. Graydon Monacan,
Yeah.
his season ended. Big part of the football team. Big placed fifth at state last year. Big part of the wrestling team.
And then just kind of the first meet was postponed. They must have they canceled next week's, the 11th.
I've been hearing it's going to. Mr. Brosh with a nice takedown that stretches lead 8-1. I heard that a team had pulled out and they were scrambling.
Oh, okay. I looked on the calendar and I thought it said it, and I asked my main source, Jimbo, but he wasn't sure, and I was like, well, I wasn't sure, but I was like, well, at that point, was it Tuesday, and then you got regionals on Saturday, so I wasn't sure if...
Well, I know that was... I help with some of the scheduling, and what, I'm not sure, Amery, I thought they had a girl on their team, and I know next year, Baldwin-Woodville, we'll have one, and we're really hoping the second one comes. She's like a killer bee when she gets out. So
first year?
Yeah, first year
Yeah,
wrestler.
she was, did basketball the year before. Heilhecker, yeah.
And, here's another takedown. Here's a major for Mr. West Brosh. Nice little takedown, looks smooth on his feet. So, with budgets and everything, we're kind of looking for, meets, tournaments that we can get JV and the girls into it.
What was that about?
What?
Oh, he didn't want to shake hands or whatever.
Oh, sometimes you get that.
Yeah. They're going to send out somebody. They're probably guessing. To fill up our lineup, we kind of stretched it out and plugged in Travis Kuhn and things of that nature. So they wanted to know, they were kind of eyeballing up. So this looks like the younger Sewell. And Cole Gio. Sowell.
And 165, wrestling for Amery, Gio Sowell. That's Baldwin-Woodville, Tatum Holdorf.
So Tatum Holdorf, I have not looked at the rankings, but I would suspect he's number 2. He's at 157. He has a 3-time defending state champ. Ranked number 1, Danny Heiser from Evansville, and at 165, which is the competitive balance, Fedamore.
Oh, yeah.
The coach's son, Chad Stelz's kid, is at 165, and he was a cadet Greco champ in Greco. Obviously in Greco, but he's won a few state titles. He's a senior too. So.
Yeah, who was it Tatum lost to at that Minnesota? It was a really good. Really good.
I was going to look that one up and I forgot. I was told the name. Yeah, it's pretty solid. I think at the beginning of the year, Tatum hadn't had his legs under him. Coming off football, it was only a couple weeks after, and the score was a little worse than I think it should have been. But Tatum's definitely top 3 in the state. Let's hope he stays healthy, doesn't get the flu, doesn't have any freak injuries. Yeah, Tatum, what do you have, about 2,300 yards rushing this year?
Jeez, and now what, 30-something touchdowns? Phenomenal season.
I used to call him Al Bundy because he scored 4 touchdowns a year ago in a game, but he scored 6 of them this year against Somerset.
Who's he now? Yeah.
Way better than Al Bundy, I can tell you that. Yeah, that was a fun team. He was explosive, quick little guy.
Tough.
You
couldn't bring him down.
Just tough. I shouldn't say little. He's probably a pretty decent-sized high school kid, but
yeah.
I like Big Jim says, and I tell all the coaches that real athletes are the big boys. So
In the
everybody-
trenches, yeah. It's true.
I just I recently, or I should say last fall, I happened to be in River Falls, and I happened to be down by the football complex and when they were practicing. And, you know, most people just, that played 20, 30 years ago don't realize how big these kids are now at every level and even into the high school. I mean, you're looking at 6'5", 350-pound guys now.
Oh, they're huge, yeah.
And they're just, and they should be 400 pounds with these hand size they have. It's just, and the question's been brought up with wrestling. I know we don't run into it as much, but you get down to the state level and you see some of those big linemen from these D1 schools that have had to drop 20 pounds, and they didn't. I'm sure they had 20, but it didn't look like it.
No.
I mean, you're seeing these big 6'6", 285 pounds. And I tell the story standing by Max one day when he was weighing in, and some guy gets on the scale next to him, and they got 4 pounds that year, and that kid was 288, and he was running.
Man.
And there he wasn't, pretty thick guy.
Yeah.
So Tate, on the power of 3 takedowns in the first, he's got himself a 10-1 lead. I know, looking at the scores, Tate knows how to score some points. Makes for a little funner wrestling. Oh, there's a nice bar.
That looks painful.
Yeah, that's not, yeah. Nice bar, and worked him right over his head. When you're overly flexible like that, you end up in some odd spots.
Yep.
Tonight we got the roughing. We've got Steve Schutte, legendary ref. He's been around forever. And we have Mr. Gail Brzezinski. He's been around for a long time. I think Gail, if there's a reffing between a rock throwing competition, he's probably there. Because I know he does football, he does baseball, he does softball, does wrestling.
I see Andrew Thompson's going to River Falls next year.
Yep, Andrew's going to River Falls. I had a chance. The thing about Andrew is, boy, he was looking really impressive. A Northern Badger, he put on a nice show down there. Wrestling really well. But, coming off, they started playing football beginning of August, and these kids really didn't have any time off. I think that, if you're reading the paper and you're looking at results, he's picked up a couple losses, you scratch your head, but sounds like last week he had a really nice showing, a good tournament in Menominee, and hoping that builds for regionals, which will be here next Saturday. Hopefully get him to sectionals, and maybe an outside crack getting the state.
Yeah.
He's got a big frame. I can see them liking him at River Falls. He's just, I'd say 6'3". He's got a big frame to put some weight on.
Waiting for wrestling to come back there. Bring back baseball. One's wrestling. They had I was told, a great wrestling program in the 90s.
Oh, in the 80s, they were phenomenal.
In the 80s.
Oh, my goodness gracious. It was incredible. So Andrew with the strength of a takedown and another. I guess if you watch Baldwin, you know that we run a lot of arm bars. And I think that was kind of the joke. I kind of was briefly talking to a Amery guy when we had the middle school meet. I said, I've never shown a bar in middle school. And I usually let some of the kids do it because I was a big guy and it was hard to run arm bars, but I don't think that they could show them much at the high school either. Andrew's a leg rider. He's got the leg in. He's improved greatly in this spot, and that's been really helping him score some points, learning how to get pressure across the back, you know, when to take the legs out, and now he's got both arms. Well, we still got the leg in the Turk. Now, you got to completely separate now. They've also thrown a reaction time and separation time. Kind of a interesting one there. So going into the second, we have 11-0 lead by Mr. Andrew Thompson. Be sure nice to tack on 3 more or 5 more team points and bring that score up to 33, and I believe 2 matches after that. And only 1 more. This is 175.
I forgot I have to read ads. I was like, oh yeah.
You know, I've always told. Well, here we go. This is a nice. Looks like you had a nice bar to drive him over for Tech Fall. Was that brought to us by State Farm?
Yeah, one of them. Jensa Studio, actually.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, I'll start sneaking these in. I completely forgot. Jensa Studio offers over 24 virtual and in-person and group fitness classes. We provide a space for everybody and every goal. Enjoy flexible plans that fit your lifestyle. Join today at jeonsastudio.com.
Drew Stark wraps up the meet with a forfeit to make it 42-39. Amery over the mighty Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks. So go ahead, keep reading. We got a lot of time now.
Yeah, I'll read a few. Are you looking for a local HVAC company you can trust? For over 65 years, Bolt's Plumbing and Heating has been your #1 Lennon dealer in western Wisconsin. With unbeatable service and prices, whether you're looking to upgrade to a Lennox home comfort system or need emergency same-day repair, the experienced staff at Bolt's Plumbing and Heating are here for you 24/7. Bolt services all major brands of equipment. Call us today, 715-685, I believe, or 4. Nygaard's got to fix that. 3378, or visit us online and find that number online at bolts.com. Be sure to look at about our discount club. Bolts Plumbing and Heating service is our top priority. Bumper to Bumper is a locally owned and operated driving school located in Somerset, Wisconsin. We offer a complete driver education and training consisting of online classroom, in-person classroom instruction, and behind-the-wheel training. So if you are getting ready to apply for your Wisconsin State driver's license, or if you are an adult and just need a refresher course, then Bumper to Bumper is here to help. Visit online at www.btbsdllc.com. DMS Repair is a regular shop located northeast of Baldwin off Highway 63. Repairing all makes and models, they have all new EFI diagnostic equipment to repair all machines. If you're a do-it-yourself person when it comes to repairs or need accessories such as riding gear or add-ons to your machines, DMS Repair offers a discount on all parts and accessories. And one more for now. Our announcer. The market is changing. Take advantage of our combined 30 years of experience to guide you through it. Call Don Timmerman at 715-684-9541 or his son Andrew at 715-928-0410 of Timmerman Realtors for all of your realty needs.
Can I add something about Timmerman Realty?
Sure.
Very good. Don's done a very, very good job. But I will also say, if you're really bored and you're lonely, just call him. Don would be more than willing to talk to anybody, and he's also doing all the mic work tonight. He does so much stuff for Baldwin-Woodville Sports. It's not even funny to, I gotta always give a shout out to Don, and we got Gray Hush down there working, and Oh, I don't know the other two. I can't quite tell from the back of their heads.
Yeah, I
but
can't either.
but Don, I think Rick does the announcing for the football, and Don will fill in. But Don does girls basketball, boys basketball, does girls softball. He's done so much for the community that people don't realize when we hit Baldwin's on a nice run with last 5 years, about every team's gone to state.
Yeah.
And behind every team, Don was helping organize the football fundraiser. Don's been a big backer when we went to state in wrestling. He's like, what do you need? You know, writing out a check, first guy to help out. Yeah, it's nice to have those people in the community. If we got good teams, there's always somebody behind that's really been a good driving force. So,
Well, I think that's Chris Akuzlik's one of them.
oh, that's right, Chris Akuslik, and
Who is that? I'm not
just
sure.
running away. Yeah, because earlier they're talking about pronunciation of names.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody asked me, and I said, I haven't mastered the English language, and I'm awful at the names.
So don't ask me names, nonetheless words.
Yeah. This upcoming duel, we talked a little about Amery. St. Croix Central started the year, in this area, arguably St. Croix Central and St. Croix Falls were the two best Division II in our section teams. We dueled, or we had a meet tonight with St. Croix Falls. St. Croix Falls has got great coaches. They're always fun to work with. We golf with some of the coaches there. And, of course, the Central coaches, we all know them well, too. They get their hands in every part of the program up there. Hats off to both of them. I know right now Central is battling some injuries. They got some talent on that team. Just everybody getting healthy. And I think that's, you coach, you do a lot of coaching, and injuries are becoming more and more part of the equation than anything, isn't it?
Yeah.
And how you
Sure
recover
is.
from injuries. So,
It does seem more frequent. I mean, even in professionals. It's like, gee.
yeah, and the argument, a lot of the NFL players want to go back to grass because they have lesser
Yeah.
ACLs. But here is a stat that I just read. Once again, who knows if it's right or not. When everybody went to field turf, concussions went down, but knee injuries went up. So now they were doing a study in small towns all over the nation that still have grass football fields,
Yep.
and they do have a bigger number of concussions.
Interesting.
So do you want to go back and deal with concussions, or do you want the knee injuries? Now, I know in wrestling, was it 6 of the finalists last year had all their ACLs were torn, but they're
Yeah.
still wrestling.
Ridiculous.
It's amazing what you can and can't do with the human body. So I mean, if you've had athletes go on, I know I talked to a few college guys, and they're always in the rehab room, rehabbing something, or preventative. So it's just their diets now are so. When do you take in certain foods? When do you take in your proteins and carbs? It's not when I was an athlete.
No. Has Max had anything recently, or?
Yeah, we are. Max will be wrestling tomorrow night. And a shout out, Owen Wasley, state champ from St. Croix Central last year. He's on the Augustana team too. His brother Devin is wrestling at NDSU. They have a meet on Saturday against Northern Iowa.
At Northern Iowa?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Northern Iowa's really good. They're a top 5 team this year.
Jeez.
So, and they have one other, and I'm just drawing a blank. I just wanted to give a quick shout out. Like I said, Amery's got Eddie Symes is ranked really high nationally in D3 for lacrosse. So we're starting at heavyweight, and it looks like Jacob Koss gets a forfeit at heavyweight.
Here we go.
So,
You said they have had injuries, didn't you?
yeah,
Central?
they've been battling some illness. I know. One kid I was just in the room before he came up here, and there was a kid. As I told Ron Staves, one of the coaches, "Are you going to take him home?" He said, "I think we better," because he was as white as a person can get. So Central's coached by Brad Holter. He's been coaching there for over 20 years. Now you have Jean Johnson down taking the pictures. She's been the backbone of that St. Croix Central wrestling club. If you've ever been involved in anything with Hammond, she'll come over yelling, "Ramberg, get over there," and start putting the plates out. "Okay, yes, ma'am." So then they have RJ. Who's that? RJ Dilcher.
Isn't their AD?
Yep, he's their AD now. Mike Nielsen, Dennis Wasley, who has two sons wrestling in college, and Sean Bird. I think Sean's originally from Amery. I think he's got a well business, and then Rourke Langer. They have a good coach, Abby Bushlinger. She was a state champion and I can't remember if it was Somerset or Amery. Her family lives in one district, and I can't remember, but she's a talented wrestler, very talented. I know she wrestled for Amery, and I think she ended up there. She had two older brothers that were at Somerset, and Walker Ingham is the assistant coach. That's a good hire. He's a young kid. I'm sure he can roll with every kid in the room, and like I said, he was a junior college All-American. So we've got Raby from Amery and Becker. That's a name from Central. I don't know which one would be the dad. Connor Becker. So it looks like Becker's up 4-0. Ended the first.
Speaking of St. Croix, Mike, St. Croix Falls is really good this year.
Yes, I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, those two. St. Croix Falls has had a few injuries also, but it sounds like that they got something going on this week, and sounds like everybody might be back in that lineup. Central isn't as optimistic, but next Saturday is got to be in that lineup or your season's over.
Yeah.
At least individually wise. So, and from this area for all the years, we got a chip on our shoulders. Baldwin, we only lost Amery by a few points at regionals, half a point one year, and they went on to win the state titles. And we always felt we were getting the short end of the stick. So they finally changed everything. So they'll take two teams out of the top regionals. They're making these super regionals, which is a lot more fun.
Yeah.
A lot more, and it's at Baldwin next Saturday. It's a lot more fun. But I think we started the season out to finish that. Baldwin had some votes for top 10. I mean, we've lost 4 seniors this year.
Yeah.
That hurts. State place winner. So that's we're 5 out of the top 10 teams in the state are in one region. So at least we're taking 2.
Yeah.
Because I keep telling the Central coaches when I see them, I said, well, they just got to finish second, and hopefully get everybody healthy by the next Tuesday. It gives you 3 more days. But next year to have a proposal that they're going to change everything all over again.
They're always doing that. And football just had a big, or somewhat the matrix, or
yeah.
Always trying to chase it, but then geographically it happens. I coach track. Every time it's your regionals just loaded, and you go to another regional, and there's people going to sectionals that would have gotten last place. It's like what?
Yeah.
But what do you do? Sometimes it's just talent.
There's a reversal by Mr. Becker. No, and even around here with the amount of kids we've got from the area that are wrestling in D2, the Northern Sun, the region that Owen Wassley is, Max Ramberg is in, and several, Cole Marco from St. Croix Falls. They ranked the top 10 weight classes, and I think 50-some of the top 10 kids are all in one region. So that means there's an average of 2 All-Americans or 1.7 All-Americans that do not make it out of regions.
It's just ridiculous. Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, to go to the national tournament, and then you go to other regions, and guys that aren't making it out of that region have been tech falling the guy that won the other one. So,
and like other sports, is the Midwest the big you know,
yes.
class sports Midwest is the place, you know. So in wrestling, yeah, I mean, it's just the Big Ten even. Well,
Yeah.
that's all spread out now, but
It is. When you talk that's a great question. Okie State has the most national titles. I mean, they won a ton in the 50s and 60s and that. Now they just hired David Taylor. They're stealing guys away from Penn State because he was a Penn State guy. But it's a Midwest sport. But what's really surprising, if you dig through the history of it, you know, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York are quietly and arguably 3 of the top 7 states in wrestling. It's really, you know, you can argue that Minnesota would be in there. And Wisconsin the last 2-3 years have had they've got 4 kids that will be competing, I believe, for a national title this year. 4 kids from just Wisconsin. And, you know, they're not wrestling for Wisconsin, but
no.
So Becker is really kind of putting them on right now. Looks like the takedown and cut game with the 3-point takedown. You really only need 6 of them to win.
Amery yelling now. It was pretty quiet right before you got here. Like I said, you could hear needle drop, and now you got people involved.
Well, we played music for the whole middle school. I'm a big proponent of this, and I've talked to several people, college coaches, people that are in the know. When my son's team wrestled Nebraska, at Nebraska you could hear a pin drop. The guys all train with music. Just keep it to a lull.
Yeah.
Play some music, because all these guys work out to music, and the only time they don't listen to any music is...
Ooh, that was...
Yeah, there was kind of a mat return situation, and here I don't know where it's at. I think that was for the tech fall, and he went down pretty hard on his left shoulder. I don't think anything was egregious there. Didn't look like an arm was trapped or anything of that nature, but... And this should be a takedown for the tech, but... Yeah, you got to play some music. I know Minnesota just dueled Rutgers. I wasn't able to go, but a friend of mine was texting me and called me afterwards, and they had music the whole time. And the big key is to that is you don't play the music that the kids listen to. You play for the 50-year-old guy that's sitting in the stand, you know. And they were playing some Leonard Skinner, and it's like, oh, music I like. But we did this in the middle school. They have speakers in the gym, and Matt wasn't overly thrilled with us the other day because he was in the other gym with the girls and the music. We turned it up so we could hear it in ours, and it was at deafening levels in his. So we switched it around, but we put some music on, and Tim, the other coach, got into it with his music of 80s rock and roll. And the kids didn't know the songs, but they started wrestling harder for the last 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's timeless music.
Yeah.
There's a reason people still hear it, 40 or 50 years later.
So I enjoyed coaching, listening to that in the background, and you know,
that's what I do in the weight room if no one's playing anything, and you go to the 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
And they all know AC/DC. Yeah.
Well, and that, yeah, the kids do it. I mean, they're even shocked that I introduced them to, because I'm kind of an undercover metal guy, I introduced them to some new metal.
Oh,
Korn, Godsmack. They're like, this is pretty good. So now we got Griffith from Amery up and a Volts. That's a name that's been around Hammond for a long time. What do we got here? Austin Volts. So we're at 113 and auctions is a 6-pounder. At least that's how they listed them. So when you're 106, you can move up. And Amery, it's James. Oh, Griffith. So both of these two kids, Griffith and the one before, Raby, are both 6-pounders. So might as well wrestle them at 13.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's
The old half Nelson, tried and true. There's another 6. Panthers get up to 17-0. Just having a full team, just that depth, and like I said, there's a lot of kids from Central that aren't in the lineup. They got a state kid that they didn't send out tonight at 113.
Who's that?
Trenton Holzer, he's top
Holzer.
5 at state. Garrett DeLong made state. And this should be an alright match here. They're throwing out Lane Anderson. Here's 120-pounder. Lane Anderson and Colton Hush, if people remember, have had, for the last 2 years, those two have wrestled and wrestled and wrestled. Lane's a tough wrestler. I think he's placed at state. I think he's got there a couple times already. He's a senior this year. Squeaked out a place. I watched him wrestle, and I just can't tell which place it was. It's kind of a little vacation for me too, so. Nice little low angle shot. They're in that, yep. This is another thing I've noticed with high school and D3 and D2 in college. You get in that upside down position. They ref stop it a lot quicker than they do at D1.
Oh, okay.
And the reaction time, they're allowing good reaction time. High school and D1 or D2 and D3. D1 is still, they want to see that action. And those kids in D1, one of those top teams, Penn State, they move from one move to the next so quick. It's so hard to figure out if that was really a takedown or if they're in a pinning combination.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a good marquee match, I see. So both of them are a little higher paced guys. And I like wrestlers that stick put right in the middle of the mat. Nice outside, head inside single, outside single, whatever you want to call it. Now he's looking at chasing the ankle. Oh, he's got it shelved. Oh, nice. Hooks the leg. That should be 3. Really nice sequence of wrestling from Lane Anderson. And that's, if you're new to watching wrestling, scoring in the last 10, 15 seconds of a period, that's huge. And kind of really starts breaking guys when you're wrestle so tough and then the last 10 seconds you give up 3. Central took down. Looks like Lane's got a nice ride on there. He's got the hips covered now. He's got under that ankle. And he's driving across the body. Got the one wrist trapped underneath. That's a really nice ride. Switch sides here. He's got the legs split. A lot of pressure down. That's a nice ride. Oh, that's too quick. In 20 seconds, he gets warned twice and gives up a stalling point.
Might be a rookie question, but what's the advantage timer for?
Okay. That's a kind of a universal thing for fouls for basketball. So all the new scoreboards will have that on there. So in college, if you ride a guy for more than a minute, or the riding time, it'll be an arrow. So let's say right now, Lane Anderson's got a.
Well, it's not a timer; it's a point.
Yeah, it's a
Okay,
point. You
I
get a
thought-
point, but you have to have more than a minute. So
Okay.
right now he'd have a minute 30 in this period. I forgot the last. But then in the next period he'll go down. That guy can take it under a minute and doesn't give up the point.
Oh, okay.
In college, it becomes a real game at minute ride time, where guys will. Gable Stevenson does it. He'll take him down, ride him for 30 seconds, cut him, take him down, ride him. Now all of a sudden he might be up 6-1 on the scoreboard, but it's really 7-1.
Yeah.
So if the other guy comes back and gets a 7-point throw on him, he's still got that point if he's got more than a minute ride time. So late in the match, if you're down by 1 in college, the other guy's got ride time, you're really down by 2.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So if this was college, he just rode him for 2 minutes, and so you have the ride time. But if this guy can ride him for 1:01, cut him, there's no extra point, take him down, and even though he got ridden for 59 seconds, doesn't mean a thing.
Huh.
But in college, they don't call stalling as quick like they do in high school.
Yeah, they called it really quick tonight, it seemed.
Yeah,
Earlier, at least.
we're getting toward tournament times, and all the rules change. Ask your friendly neighborhood ref. They'll all deny that they change, but they do. Yep. And that's another situation. He did take a nice shot. So Lane started on the bottom. He kind of got separation, but he latched onto a leg for quite a while. Refs usually like to see you move off that leg and then into the body. And they like to call a stalling then, that you're just holding on.
Mm-hmm.
So when you were younger and you had brothers and sisters and you were trying to take your food or your toy, you just held on their ankle and made them drag you around the house.
Yeah, pretty much.
You get called for that in wrestling.
I get put in a headlock, but problem is my brother was a good wrestler and I wasn't, so yeah, that wasn't very fun. I was his practice dummy.
Yeah, that happens.
But then in season, I got more food because he didn't eat, so trade-off is fine.
That's another thing that's really changed a lot in all sports, but especially in wrestling. It's the old days, and you just didn't eat and drink for a while to make weight. Well, now they have you eating, proper water intake, when you eat certain foods, and it's just amazing. These kids are dropping down 5-10 pounds every week, and they're healthy. They've been eating. They step on that scale and they're right back up to 7-8 pounds over.
Yeah, it's like,
And they're healthy, and it's amazing. So now, like comparison, when I was saying the 6'5", 350-pound linemen, they're big. I mean, they're eating good food. They're not stopping at McDonald's every 10 minutes.
no.
So Lane Anderson, on the strength of a takedown, 2 stalling calls, and a escape, takes a 7-0 victory to get them on the board for a decision.
Oh. A lot of wins.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Zoom in on that.
Yeah, 150 career wins from Lane Anderson.
How many,
He's
how many, I'm
good.
sorry, how many Baldwin kids have 150?
One.
Just one? Okay.
No, two. Tyler Wire and Colton Hush had, I think, 158. He's got the record. So,
Winner by forfeit at 126 for St. Croix Central, Caden Corcoran.
who did they say? Taden. Cadence Tudell must have taken the forfeit at 126. Coming out at 132. Got Cochran from St. Croix Central. Kind of looks to be Weston Ingham. Oh, Hag, my bad. Lane Hag. Cochran got the. Caden Cochran got the forfeit. There's a little treat that Weston Ingham here was in the state finals last year at 106, and he's one of the top-ranked kids. Doing a little domination drill here. If you notice, he'll cut him, but he will not. The last one, he held onto the elbow. 3 quick takedowns to get up to 9-2. And all the Inghams notorious are great on top. Now he's got the arm bar and this looks painful. That's a quick pin.
Quick, yeah.
Yeah, quick pin and brings. There's a pin for 16 points. Make it 23-9. Another shout out from the area. They have a Liam Nitzel that's going to South Dakota State from Hudson. He wrestled. We saw how good Weston was, and he lost by a major to this Nitzel from Hudson.
Huh.
He's a senior.
At 138, wrestling for St. Croix Central, Vinny Stint. For
I didn't realize they had names on the back of their singlet.
Yes.
Huh.
Vinny Stint and Sewell.
How common is that? Or is that more of a newer thing?
Tony Stewell. Some schools do it. I think they buy their singlets, they invest. I see that, and especially, I forgot how they explain how they do that, but they they get their names, it's their singlet, they can keep them. It's kind of a good, kids like it. And then when you get down the state, you see all kinds of different. Amery's got some different singlets. So does Hammond. They have a gold singlet they wear for if they're in the state finals. I mean, they enjoy it. I tease them about it.
We have the white ones, right?
Well,
Or is that just...
that's it. We going into the wrestling room. We've got about 5 sets.
Oh.
Jeff's kind of cracked down on that. I know when Max was in high school, they would dig through the bin and pull out the oldest, crappiest singlet they could find. Max wore his white one, but he kept his old from 1990. The first year they had the nice, I call them the nice feely, silky ones. I think there's only one left in the district, and it's a double X, and it's usually a heavyweight in the middle school that gets that one.
No.
It's the only one left in the district because Yatsik wore one, my son wore one. I think Yatsik won the state title in that one.
There we go.
And we raise this money, school pays whatever of all these singlets, and they come tramping out there with
I know,
a
you're
singlet
like,
from
come on.
1993. Well, another pin, 23-15. This is on Central's behalf. This is kind of where they've had all their guys with some injuries. So, it's going to be different hopefully next week. But yeah, like saying to Amery, that Eddie Symes, I think I'd have to double check, and I forgot to ask about Lane. I know some colleges are interested in him. Coy Hopkins at the U.
Oh, how's he doing?
A little banged up. He's kind of missed this year with a real devastating injury. And then and the other Hopke, his older brother, is at the Miami of Ohio as a pitcher now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, big, strong lefty. The Ingham, Wyatt Ingham, is at the Badgers. And they got one other kid in there that's wrestling somewheres. So it's nice to see all the area kids, and a lot of them are going to be wrestling at Symes, and a lot of Hunter Gartman and Ty Fink are all going to be in Eau Claire on Saturday. There's a pin from Mr. Swenson. That's a wrestling family over there in Stone.
At 144, winner by pin from St. Croix Central, Jake Swenson.
So we have a lot of local kids. It's going to be kind of fun. Kind of bummed this year I can't go, but Augustana is wrestling the Mankato Mavericks, which is interesting about that one. Colton Hush is the 141 pounder. Max Ramberg is the 197 pounder for Augustana.
Oh, look at that.
And Colton says they pulled his red shirt. He's having a decent year.
They pulled it, huh?
He's having a decent year, and I'm not even going to try to say that name.
I wonder if Chris must be or Don. I don't think Don even said it.
I apologize that I can't. I mean, it takes up the entire area. But he gets a forfeit, 35 to 15.
Looking for, there was a kid on Central, Jack, lighter weight, like 26 maybe. He's new, he's from North Dakota.
Yep, Jack, there's 3 of them from what I gather.
Yeah, well, yeah, one of them ran cross country, of course, and
Yep.
he gave, or Ian Findley, you know, our conference champion, but he gave him for a run for his money to begin the year. I'm like, who is this kid?
Yep, from North Dakota. And I think he's another one that's out of the lineup. I don't know. He got 5th in North Dakota last year, and I forgot what level. They have 2 out there. So, and he's got 2 younger brothers. So that was I heard job transfer. I don't know. It's kind of not my business, but that's a good find, getting the wrestling family moving into a school. And obviously, it sounds like he's a pretty good runner.
Really good runner, yeah. He got injured near the end of the season, so hopefully he's not dealing with another one.
So we got Dosh from Amery, and we got Koznatsky. Now they've been kind of 57 and 65 for Central. They've been Leo McKenna. I believe his mom used to be the postmaster general in Baldwin, or his grandma. This Koznatsky. And then a Stave, Jaden Stave, which got to give a shout out. I already said his dad, the legendary Ron Stave that graduated from Baldwin about 03, was a state place winner wrestler. So I always got to give a shout out to him, even though he moved to Roberts. I don't know why, but there we go. And his son's a freshman. So they, right through the middle here, they've got this Koznatsky is a sophomore. McKenna's a sophomore, and Jaden Stave's a freshman. That's really nice to have through those tough weights, and they're throwing up some good records this year. That's tough to do, because you're wrestling a lot of those 18, 19-year-olds. Koznatsky with a takedown and 3 back points.
Looks like our girls won 53 to 22. They might play Central girls are 9-1 in the conference. We're 8-2. It might come down to a couple weeks from now. Nothing better than the SCC Baldwin rivalry, Baldwin-Woodville rivalry.
Yes, I know. I get yelled at all the time. Baldwin-Woodville, Baldwin-Woodville. I'm catching on to the whole Viking middle school if I got to announce those. So I just say Viking.
That does make it a little easier.
I always forget the Woodville. It's a lot to get out of my mouth.
It is.
So, well, I know we're watching wrestling right now, and we've got Konopsky's up 6-0. Both started neutral position in the second. I kind of swung by. Baldwin lost to Amery and the girls, huh? Oh,
Yeah.
nice snap down go behind. That's as a coach, and you see that kind of stuff, you get pretty excited. But yeah, I was kind of shocked, and I was,
It's one of the metaphorical lid was on the rim, and it was just really hard to get it off.
and I didn't they lose to him.
Well, that was the forfeit, yeah, an eligible
Yeah.
player, but
So does that go down as a 2-0 win for Amery?
yes, 2-0.
Yes.
And I think we'd actually won by about 25. It wasn't close. I think we appealed it, but I didn't hear anything back about that. I highly doubt an eligible player is an eligible player, so.
And it sounds like they knew it, but
Yeah, you move on.
you move on.
You beat Central in a couple weeks, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And I saw Central's won the last 6 in a row.
Yeah, they're really good. Which is good to see, because their girls' team kind of struggled since Ty Ketz went there in 2018.
Yeah, that's right. No, this was a simple. He kind of caught him in a little bit of a chin drop and called it an overhook. If he can keep that pressure on and get him flat. Not the idea. There we go. Now we got the arm underneath. And I kind of looked like the Amery did not like that call, but I think he was the one that didn't like in the match before.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Wrestling's an emotional sport. It's unique for the fact that you're out there all by yourself, and maybe a tire that you're not overly comfortable in.
Yeah.
And you can't call timeout, and you disagree with the ref, and I found out after all the years, it's an emotional sport. Kids don't want to lose that are competitive, and shaking hands before and after. It's a gentleman. It used to be called the gentleman sport, and in Olympic level, they'd wear top hats and suits. The ref did. It's a real gentleman sport, and then in freestyle Greco, not alone you gotta shake your opponent's hand, you gotta shake all three refs' hands and the other coach's hand. So when you're not happy with the outcome of something, really hard to run around that whole match shaking everybody's hand.
Yeah.
So we got Jaden Steve. A little plug for Ron, the big rig we call him. He's lost some weight, so he's just a rig. But he's wrestling Gio Sowell. That's a quick slide behind. He got Jaden to touch his hand down and let him go. That's 3.
Got a comment, Grant Cook at Mankato, Minnesota.
Tell Grant Cook if he's listening.
Well, Stacy Hopkey said that.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Stacy. Stacy's the mother of Kale and Coy. Grant is wrestling. They pulled his red shirt last year for a couple matches. It was kind of a question, but he had a nice weekend. He was up for Wrestler of the Week in the NSIC last week or 2 weeks ago. I forget. There are a couple of really back-to-back nice tournaments and filled in at the duel. He's not their normal starter, but I'm kind of hoping on Saturday that they'll throw out. He's a 184-pounder. Maybe he'll move up and wrestle Max.
Oh.
So I think that'd be kind of fun. And Mankato, if they did that, gosh, 8 or 9 of their starters are from Wisconsin.
Wow.
St. Croix Falls, they're heavyweights from St. Croix Falls. They're 165-pounders from St. Croix Falls. It's kind of really cool. So, and their coach down there, Jim, he just loves recruiting Wisconsin guys. So, but off of an escape, Jaden comes back with a nice slick takedown. wrestling pretty tough. He's on top. He's got the leg. He's got in a figure four that's becoming the real. You see more and more kids doing it now. Stacy Hopke. Well, if you're listening, Stacy, hi. I hope everything's going well. You know, Max had to wrestle both of her sons.
Oh, yeah.
So over the years, you know, I'm sure the Rambergs aren't their favorite people, but very nice lady was involved, always helping out. And they used to sit close to me at state. Oh! Quick escape, but Gio knew what he was doing and got that takedown to tie it up 6-6.
On a side note, somebody had told me, is it true Mr. Sell wrestled his freshman year before hockey was?
Yeah.
How was he?
He got second in conference.
Wow.
189. Well, and the hockey team, an escape by Jaden Stave. Hockey, what was it, Waha, I believe, and they were pretty successful. They did well. And Dusty Vienendahl played hockey. I can't remember when he quit, sophomore and junior year, to concentrate the other side, wrestling.
Oh, yes, it flipped almost.
Yeah, because they used to play in an outdoor rink where the hockey is now.
Really?
It was a pretty cool setup. I watched a lot of hockey down there. I had a lot of friends that did that. But a lot of the games got late at night, and they, you know, on their schedule, they'd be playing Siren and Webster, and they're going.
It's a hike.
Yeah, that's a hike. You're getting home at midnight, and then, you know, you got to miss a practice because you had wrestling practice. Then you'd go to practice at 7, 8 at night, not get home till 10. And I think Dusty said something about it did help losing weight, but it should have got you tired. Oh, Steve got a takedown as I spill more popcorn. Steve got a takedown, but got a little sloppy there, and so capitalized with the reversal. Oh, Jaden with a nice escape to make it 11-8. And that shot out of bounds is brought to you by Family Chiro Care.
Yeah, there we go.
Jaden's grandma worked there for years as the receptionist. Sorry, Jeremy. I don't know if it's their sponsors.
It could be.
They could be.
Contact Jeremy Nygaard.
Yeah. This is
That's not where, oh no, he works at Western. Can't think of his name. Walquist.
Oh, Trevor Walquist.
Yeah.
His son wrestled earlier, Maxim. I said it wrong. Maxim Walquist wrestles for River Falls, an 8th grader.
Oh, okay.
I forget his older son is a sophomore, junior in the middleweights for River Falls. And, of course, the grandma there, I like to refer to her as Hot Roxy, but Mrs. Joaquin. And trust me, it's only been the last 5 years. We've all called her that behind her back. I've actually had to say it to her face. But,
Yeah.
and I just saw her on Tuesday, still doing the forensics.
Yeah, she's still active.
And my goodness gracious, she's not old by any means, but at her age, I would kind of like to be somewhere warmer. But she's trucking right into school, working with forensics. I don't know if she's involved with the play anymore, but my goodness, does she put time into this school district.
Yeah. What year did she start here? Or what years?
Oh. Well, the little known fact was she was the leading scorer on the first Baldwin-Woodville girls basketball team.
Was she?
Yeah, she was also Miss Woodville. I forget her maiden name, but so I suppose late. I think she went to college, and it would be late 70s she started, because she was a grizzled veteran when I got into high school in the 80s. Tough teacher to have, but you know, I look back at it, and I still remember part of the letter unit she taught us. I'm sure I failed miserably in her class, but I've had to fill out a few resumes over the years, and or addresses, and I remember where the exclamation points goes.
That's all that matters.
So we got less than a minute left. Jaden Stave has can I say, clinging to a 1-point lead. It looks like Gio Sowell's mounting some offense. Brought the coaches to their feet there. They're using up the whole mat. That's a nice low single, and he kept circling around away from the leg he had, and that's just hard to stay balanced. So this is the point of the match where you got to pull out something from the barnyard.
Roxy Joaquin commented, Dave.
What?
She commented.
Gherkin was her maiden name.
She said 1977, you're speaking now. There you go.
That's when she started?
Yeah.
You know, if I didn't have you as a teacher, Roxy, I'd have thought 97 was your first year.
Now you know she's watching, you're going to be nicer.
No, I can't say enough. She's done a lot for this district, and sometimes, like I said earlier, a lot of the stuff goes unsaid and unknown, but we've had good friends and teams. The plays, you know, even though it's not my gig, she's done a great job. Affected a lot of people, you know, and Roxy, yes, a couple more years, it will be 50 years. So just think of all the people she's affected in the last 50 years. Sean Graff from Amery, Dylan Cost. We're at 175, and I do not think that's their regular guys either. I know they had somebody else in there, I believe, at Northern Badger. But Brad does a great job getting kids out. You know, if you've got that kind of injuries and plugging them in, just looking at the lineup, a lot of freshmen and sophomores. So they're going to have some kids grow, and they're building definitely for the future. Well, now you got a kid that's been to state, sitting on the IR also. Been to state, I think, twice.
The one with the shoulder?
Yeah, Kostrick.
Yeah. Or yeah, surgery? One of them had surgery, didn't they? Or is that...
Yeah, and I forgot which one it was that had surgery, had shoulder. I think he was lighter. I know Maverick started out at 106, and then, I swung through McDonald's, and he's been my friendly guy that I give my credit card to.
You gotta get the app, Dave.
Yeah. Hey, I've got one app, or besides some weather ones, and that's to pay my electrical bill. Because it's from St. Quarry Co-op. Because I'm a member, and it saves them like $15,000 not mailing out the bill. So.
Yeah, nowadays especially.
Yeah, so figuring if they're going to give me a little extra for using all the energy I do, I'll help them a little.
No.
I don't think they're sponsors either. I'm sorry for that plug.
No.
But that was a nice kind of over-under that if Cost did that to me, I'd be visiting Western Wisconsin Health.
Speaking of her, what's the sponsor of ours?
Yeah, I'd be visiting him, probably Family Chiro Care, and then I'd swing by to A&W and probably get something to eat too.
Yeah.
So on my way to Strikers.
Stop at Lakes Gas, I guess. That's nice.
Yeah. Hey, it's been kind of cold out. Make sure you got late gas on a speed dial format.
Winner at 190 for St. Croix Central by forfeit,
Brock Swenson. Got a younger brother, wrestling family. Mom does a lot of pictures. She took some really cool ones of Max and me.
She's not the one in the corner, is she? Not right. Kind of to the left of the Amery bench.
Yeah, I can't quite tell. I kind of missing my vision.
Oh.
I think that's her. But yeah, she's been, like I said, for any sport team, there's some people behind it that have done wonders, like Gene Johnson out here. which is a relative of a Baldwin-Woodville school teacher.
Who's that? Or who's that? Who are you referencing?
Gene right down in front of us.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Chris, first grade teacher.
Oh, Bull. Chris
Yeah.
Bull. No.
And I believe their younger brother is now the principal over there, Brian. We got 5 minutes, so I think I can tough this out for 5 minutes.
Or get some ads.
Yeah, you go through some ads.
I'll get some
I'm gonna little boy's room.
There you go. All right. Lakes Gas, your local family-owned propane company, has been serving the area for over 65 years. Lakes Gas is focused on providing reliable and affordable propane service to homes and businesses. Whether you need propane for heating, cooking, or grilling, Lakes Gas has you covered. They are committed to providing exceptional customer service and supporting local events, community events. So the next time you need propane, remember Lakes Gas, your family-owned and community-focused propane company. You can find them at Roberts and Hager City. Stay warm and cozy this winter with Lakes Gas, your hometown source for reliable propane. Located in Roberts or Hager City, Lakes Gas is a local family-owned propane company who's focused on keeping their customers warm and communities thriving. Visit lakesgas.com to see what the Lakes Gas difference is all about. Nielsen's Foods has been serving communities since 1903. We offer full-service caribou coffee, bakery, deli, and meat departments. We pride ourselves with our award-winning Nielsen's market meats and our friendly staff. Nielsen's vision is to provide a strong family of customers and employees by delivering superior service to our customers, offering employee growth opportunities, reinvesting in our stores, and serving in our communities. Members of Wisconsin Credit Union can access account information and take care of most everyday banking needs via Wisconsin Online, the mobile app, and text banking. Immediate access to your Wisconsin accounts is also available 24 hours a day via touch-tone phone. Visit them at wisconsincu.org to learn more. Are you financially prepared for the big game of life? Whitecap Financial Advisors wants to help you with your game plan. Just like no two teams are the same, no two investors are the same. Here's the play-by-play. Together we will make the plan, work the plan, review the plan. Whitecap Financial Advisors specializes in investment management, financial and retirement planning, life insurance, and education funding. Call today to set up your no-cost, no-obligation appointment at their Roberts or Turtle Lake location. 715-760-9001. From the roughest seas to the highest peaks, Whitecap Financial Advisors will be with you every step of the way. Securities and investment advisory service offered through Osaic Wealth, member FINRA SIPC. They're independently owned of Osaic Wealth. For 37 years, OEM Fabricators has been your one-stop shop for medium to heavy-duty custom critical metal fabrications used globally to make equipment for the construction, mining, rail, oil and gas, and agriculture industries. A Wisconsin Manufacturer of the Year award winner, our certified family-friendly network employs 280 Wisconsin team members in Woodville, Neillsville, and Phillips. If you're looking for a unique opportunity, we offer flexible schedules 7 days a week in a variety of metalworking skill sets. To learn more, check out our website, www.oemfab.com. That's www.oemfab.com. OEM Fabricators, manufacturing like we mean it. Flagship Ford is your source for new and used Ford cars, trucks, SUV parts, service, and more in the Baldwin area. Our goal is to provide the best possible service to our customers and make sure your car buying experience is second to none. We are currently conveniently located at 850 Fern Drive, Baldwin, Wisconsin, 54002. Firehelm Langer is a CPA firm with offices in Baldwin, Ellsworth, and River Falls. At Firehelm Langer, our clients are our top priority. We offer the skills and expertise of a large CPA firm combined with the personal attention and responsiveness of a smaller firm. When you partner with us, we take the time to get to know you. understand your goals, and build a lasting professional relationship. We invite you to turn to us at Firehelm Langer for bookkeeping services, payroll services, financial projections, tax preparation, tax planning, and all of your accounting needs and tax needs. St. Croix Garage Doors provides Western Wisconsin with top quality garage door sales, services, and installation. We proudly serve Baldwin-Woodville, Hudson, New Richmond, River Falls, Stillwater, Menominee, and other surrounding areas. Give Brian a call today at 715-781-8989 for a quote, install, or service. And then just to run down, thank you again to all of our sponsors: Timmerman Realty, Nielsen's Food, St. Croix Garage Door, Firehelm Langer, Flagship Ford, Wisconsin Credit Union, OEM Fabricators, CW Garage Door Distribution, Baldwin Lightstream, Veteran Jewelers, Helverson Concrete Solutions, A-Star Concrete, Strikers Lanes and Sports Bar, Gensa Studio, Western Wisconsin Health, there we go, chiropractic, Bolts Plumbing and Heating, The Smokehouse, Schaefer Financial Services, Bumper to Bumper, Whitecap Financial Advisors, DMS Repair, Lakes Gas, Phoenix Bar and Grill, Village Pharmacy, TMS Auto, Pete's Construction, Fern's Lawn Care, American Family Insurance, St. Croix Custom Apparel, and Family Chiro Care. Thank you to all of those sponsors. And if you'd like to sponsor, especially for next school year, contact Jeremy Nygaard. His school email. And also give a plug to him if you are interested in driving school bus. Contact him. We could always use more route drivers. I have my bus license. It wasn't too bad to get. Nice money on the side when you can drive. You could drive wrestling to their events, and then you get to watch it. You get in for free. You get paid to be there. It's a good perk. A forfeit to start there. Austin Volts.
Alright. Had to answer a text. Lost equipment. You gotta love the middle schoolers. So, yep. Volts got the forfeit, and who got it at 106? Yeah. Oh, no. Did Volts get it? Now we're gonna...
It's passing 120 as well.
Yep. Becker, Volts, Becker, and Cochran. I'm just going to go by the town in western Minnesota and the West Metro. Okay, finally we got a Baldwin athlete. Kane Pomeroy. Gosh, I hope I said it right.
Parembo. Luckily I know that one.
All right, because Pastor John corrected me a few times. Oh, I get a whole different guys. Let's see if he can get on his wheels that he got from TMS Tire and Auto.
Who's that?
I'm just looking at the other ones.
Oh.
You know, I may sound like I'm making fun, but I'm not. I mean, all these people, once again, for these kids to compete, there's a lot of people in the community that are donating money to support and all that, and they all have to be recognized. Yeah. And to keep this, you know, when Nygaard started this, I love it. Jason Sell's not going to like it, but I watched a lot of volleyball, watched a lot of basketball, sitting at home. And I've watched a lot of church services sitting at home also.
Yeah,
so
a little bit of everything.
Thank you, Jeremy, and all the sponsors that have helped make this. Sometimes in wrestling we kind of forget about this, but well, Kane is running into Garrett DeLong. Solid, you know, state wrestler from St. Croix Central. Got a quick takedown on him, putting kind of a hard ride on him. Kane's a tough worker.
Oh.
Yes. Just couldn't get his hips through. Ooh, I don't even... I think that could have been an escape, but once again, I'm sitting up here. So what do I know? So 3-0 on the escape. Garrett's DeLong's up top riding. You know, and Baldwin's given up some forfeits, but the big thing is, even a couple weeks ago, we went down and wrestled Aquinas, Perry Duchesne, and was a deal at, I can't remember if it was West Salem Banger, or Gerald Ettrick Trempolo, Melrose Mendora, but we were 500 or better in every match and match wrestled. So our kids are going out there and competing, and those are some very good teams. So, I mean, that's a positive.
Yep.
And right now, Garrett just kind of said, hey, I'm a stud. I'm going to throw you on your back. Sometimes wrestling is just being the tougher kid out there.
Yeah.
So it's a pin in the first period by Garrett DeLong. Kane, like I said, Kane's working hard. He's in the room, and with all of you can see with the forfeit, to find them partners has been very difficult that are around his sides to wrestle. I know we've been bringing in some kids from the middle school. We like to always get them up there for a little so they get used to Newt and Jared, and got a new guy, Mr. Carter Paulson from Rice Lake, state place winner.
Oh.
Beat Max at Northern Badger
Did he?
1 year for the third place match. He actually won sectionals that year. The Max got third, and he just ran. Poor Carter won sectionals and ran into the defending state champion coming out of the. He got upset at sectionals. But yeah, great addition. Great addition. Now we're throwing out Sergey Worry at 132 against Hag from St. Croix Central. Nice little quick takedown by Sergey. Sergey's another kid that's he's a junior, but he's really taken a nice step this year. He's hung with some good kids. He comes down to, though, he still hasn't quite adjusted to the 6-minute match and the pace of it. So even though he's in good shape, that sometimes just gets nervous out there when it gets to the third period. Or he's been thrown into some action early in his career. I think he even was at 138 a couple times when he was a freshman and kind of overmatched there. So kids kind of get shell-shocked a little, but he's in on another nice takedown right to the back. That's really nice. He's got that arm, coffee grinder. Let's see if he can pop it on his head. Now put it on the back and armbar. That's a nice. That's very nice. Nice win for Sergey. All right, that Panthers 24, Blackhawks 6. Vinny Since picks up a forfeit at 138. Now on to 145. We got Mr. Drake Gartman and Mr. Swenson from St. Croix Central. There's a takedown, and guess what he's got in? He's got an armbar.
Yeah.
Nice takedown by Drake. Wrestling family, I just talked to his younger brother in the break, and his sister does some wrestling, so there might be more Gartmans coming.
Oh, yeah. Cousins. There's a Peterson.
Yeah,
Kurt,
Axel. Yeah, Axel. Yeah, Kurt Peterson. There's Cousins. Hunter's dating a wrestling family. The Casey's from Spring Valley. He's dating a gal that was a phenomenal wrestler.
I'll tell you what, every time I walk in for a basketball game, I park in the back. Youth wrestling's always going on. I always see a kid I know and say, "You guys looking for homework, or are you here to wrestle? Look busy."
Yeah, we were getting great numbers. We have close to 30 kids in the middle school, and 85 kids, kindergarten through 5th grade.
Nice.
We were hit by numbers, and you're going to see it hard next year. And you're seeing it some this year. We just a couple of classes, the COVID, and some people just didn't want to get out. Some people did, and when some people came back, they were behind and didn't continue. And I think I was talking to Coach Benoit the other day about that, and I think that's kind of a concern. And I've been talking to coaches from other schools, and it's hit or miss.
Well, in our 8th grade girls, there's 5. And it's like, so you got to have some 7th grade. And luckily, there's a couple good 7th grade girls, but you only have 5 8th grade girls in basketball.
I think I was informed, though. I think the 8th grade's 6-1, 7th grade's 5-1.
They are, yeah.
So
all because of Matt Schomer. That's the only reason, right? No, I know him well. I'm just gonna.
No, I never thought in my entire coaching career that we'd ever steal a female basketball player, and we did this year.
Well, yeah, someone had told me. I was like, oh, interesting, and hope she's enjoying it.
Yeah, she seems to be having fun. She's a fun kid to have. Very good athlete, really talented.
Gritty.
Yeah, gritty. Oh, it's kind of. I gotta find a better term. It's kind of like the bees attacking somebody that's messing with their cave when she goes out there, or their hive. I was using the adage of, maggots on a horse wagon full of guts, but
a little less grotesque.
Yeah, but boy, she gets out there and you wind her up and she just swarms. So, a little escape here from Drake Garbutt to extend his lead to 4-0. But the beauty now with the one takedown, it's 4-3. So I kind of like that. It rewards you for a lot of offense. Nice shot by Swenson. And Drake dropped some good hips. And, actually, if Jake's got his head down, right now this is a 50-50 position for the guy that's got his head down. If you can see he's grabbing on that elbow. He's trying to pull that underneath. Kind of little throw by, slide by, drag, whatever you want to call it. Over Drake's career, he had a big win against St. Croix Falls for us when he was a sophomore to get us to team state. Big win. It was a gritty, 3rd overtime period. And
ooh, did he get it?
Not with Gale, you're not going to get those calls.
No.
You're going to argue them, but it's just their interpretation. You're never going to win the argument.
No.
And, and I've asked them after wrestling, when we're just talking, why didn't you give him to him? He goes, you should have started it a second too early, and I would have. You could see he had the position. And Gale came from a wrestling family, so he's anticipating, and that's a fair response to me. I may not agree with it, but so starting the 3rd period, Mr. Swenson decides to go down, which is an interesting choice. I get it if he gets an escape and a takedown, it's tied, but you're always running that risk that you might get a ride put on you. I side, and you could talk to any coaches, and every coach is going to give you a different reasoning, but I say let's start on the feet, go for that takedown, cut him. You're gonna have to score somehow a couple times. So I'm thinking 2 takedowns, give the guy an escape, and you win 6-5.
Yeah.
it's more of the coaching aspect. Most coaches, you spend 75% of your time in the room on your feet. You can't help it. I look at how I design my middle school practices, and I'm a little less this year because we got newer kids, so we really have to go over some top and bottom. Because Newt has asked for a few things that he wants to see out of the middle schoolers coming into high school, so spend a little more time. But now I just made a fool out of myself because now it's 4-1 and he gets a takedown. It's tied.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you give up the takedown and you got some time, you get that escape, you win 5-4. So, but I could say everything I want. I'm not wrestling the match. 'Cause
Yeah.
right now I'd be looking for oxygen and water. And
Trainer.
He's in on a nice single. You know, Drake's defending it hard with the whizzer. You know, and I think at this point, is Gale going to call a stalemate? Oh, he did call it. So if you can't see it on the camera, what Swenson just did would be his right leg. He got that to cover both legs. Now he's got it way too high here. If Drake swims to his head, he's got 20 seconds to get out of this for a reversal. Oh, he's got his legs straightened out. I'd go into the short sit position. Oh, now he's giving up. If you see, he's kind of got the leg trap there above the knee. Oh, heartbreaking. So everything I said at the beginning of the period goes out the window.
Yeah, not always.
We rode him and turned him. So that's a win by Mr. Swenson, 8-4 over Drake Gardman to bring it 30-6. Now we move into the 150-pound weight class. And I'm seeing Wes Bross stand at the table. He's got that mean look on his face that he always has. And Kanoski. I say that jokingly. The Broshes, just their faces alone would make them World Series of Poker players.
Whoops.
That's just some poor table work right there. That's poor. No, they work hard.
Yeah, it's funny. Track and field has concessions, and one head coach is doing clock, and one's live streaming.
Well, I was going to bring that up. It didn't hit me. I went down and got a Diet Mountain Dew, so obviously I could say we're a Pepsi school. I went down there and I saw Big Jim working in there, and I warned some of your athletes to keep them away from the popcorn. And he got mad at me.
Of course he did.
I said, Jim, dig up some of that money, you know. And he said, well, the ground's froze.
Oh, good old Jim.
You know what? I told one of your athletes, I said, Jim was my middle school coach, and I'm in my mid-50s.
Oh, he gets mad at anyone now that brings up the age. Don't do that.
Oh, I know. That's why I told
That's why you did.
I told the one young lady, I said, he was my middle school track coach, and he was old then. She looked, and I said, I'm in my 50s, and she said, well, you're older than my parents. And I said, I probably am. So... Oh boy, so he's got he's trying to run a cross-face cradle. I think he started out as a butcher. You grab the far tricep, but coming over to this side, and you got that, you're kind of coming under the chin, you got the tricep, and then you lock your other hand under there. This is a position that sucks. But West powered out of it, and he got a double of his own. Hooked the legs. That's simple as that. He cut him. He's not messing around. Not enough separation. He cut him, didn't get enough of that reaction time, so he's still on top, but he's not in a good spot here. That's a reversal. Oh, they did give him to him. Okay. Got the leg trapped. The Augsburg ride when you trap the ankle. I've heard it called 100 different things. We've got Mr. Steve Schutte out, maintaining the chaos. He's a head ref in the area too. So anybody listening has got complaints, Steve Schutte. He's now retired, so you can't get a hold of him at his place of employment. That was a nice, hey, I gotta say, that was a really nice. Got him in the front headlock position, bounced him, circled and went behind him, textbook. I don't know if Dan Gable could have explained it any better. And he's got that arm trapped. Ref's holding 4. It's not exactly a pinning combination, but if you can minute and 20 in that position, that's hard to fight. Yep. You can hear Mr. Holzer scoop the head. Yep. Get underneath the head, yeah. For a little guy, Holzer's got a loud voice. That pin there by Kaznopski over Mr. Wes Brosh, 39 to 6.
You see the other our throws coach in there? He's a big power lifter. I don't know if you would have.
Oh, is he a little redder, scrappier beard? Yeah, I saw it. Looked like a bigger guy. I don't know.
Yeah, Chase Johns. He's actually from Amery. Goes River Falls. I think he's majoring in something similar to sports psychology, and we needed a throws coach, and voila, great coach.
Good.
But yeah, big power lifter. He just had some sort of a competition, I think 2 weeks ago.
I see powerlifting starting to make, it was huge when I was younger, into my mid-30s, and kind of went away with Olympic lifting, with the CrossFit. Taden with a nice little ankle, slide behind.
CrossFit, yeah.
He's wrestling Jaden Stave. Jaden wrestled 165 last match. Now I think he's dropped to 157 to give some more options to the team when they get it all back. Slide some kids in here and there. And that's the joys of having a team that's deep and having a lot of good guys. Yeah, they've been talking about injuries and having to wrestle backups, but I said when he gets crunch time, getting those backups in there is huge. They can get out there and wrestle, and they're not as nervous, if they got to move around. Jaden is a nice young freshman, very respectful young man. Usually if it's a contact or something like that, as you get to junior and senior and you're supposed to pick it up, they usually crumple it up and just throw it off to the side. But he went and put it in the garbage. That's all parenting right there.
Yep.
So Taden with an armbar for a pin. But I give kids credit that do that. You still see at the college level that kids will pick up their own mess and run it to the...
Yeah, good for them.
And it's actually not supposed to leave the mat.
Oh.
It's actually a point, so... But and if a ref did call it, I mean, come on. A kid that picks up after himself, it's not losing stuff. I give a lot of credit to. So we got Wester, another kid, gosh, he's a youngster too. Yeah, he's a ninth grader. I remember him last year. Pretty solid, well-built kid. You know, I don't know if he had started lifting early or he was blessed.
You don't get too many 165ers as long as Andrew, do you? Or
Say that again?
165
kids as long as Andrew? I mean, he's lengthy and he's kind of big.
You know, you don't. But to say that, I think 165 in college, that's where you see these tall 6'5" guys, and it's got to be a nightmare. Because I mean, Taden Holdorf is your prototypical 157, 165, but he's short, powerfully built. And then, you know, he was a D end and a tackle in football. And you think of those as some big dominant guys.
Not 165.
Yeah. So, yeah, River Falls, I believe. Graydon Monikin's going down there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I knew Central. Noah Nussbaum from last year from Central's down there. Jacob Range, who wrestled from River Falls, is down there.
And that football team's getting better and better. And
yeah, Walker's doing a great job down there.
Fun to watch. I mean, that's your offense right there.
Well, you know, I know Dan was involved for many years. Dan Kiefer was, and I still loved a well-run wishbone.
Of course you do.
Yeah, because, you know, when you're in your mid-50s, you look at Oklahoma and Nebraska and...
So you're a big Army fan then, I suppose.
Yes, you know. Air Force ran kind of that scrum for all them years. I'd like a good run, heavy offense.
I think Amery does, don't they?
Yeah, Amery does. I'm not saying they're on the level of
No.
Army.
No. Same idea, though.
No, Mondovi was very successful for many years. Oh, nice single leg switches. Oh, gosh, good defense here by Cost. Now, yeah, this takes a lot of energy. When you got a single leg up like that and that guy's putting pressure down and hopping away, that... I don't know if Drew does get gassed, but that takes a lot of energy.
He had a good football season, too.
Yeah.
Speaking of Taden, that offensive line was good, and that was, you know, as he would say, that's also a big reason why he...
4 out of the 5 are wrestlers. And then Will Phelps did wrestle.
He did, yeah.
And we got that Mateo Garcia, a freshman that's not quite ready for a big level in the high school, but he's 11-5 on JV, beating kids that, if he sticks with it, will be seniors with him, so he's winning now. I got some big, powerful middle schoolers also.
Some of those.
Bennett Becker.
Oh, yeah, he's young.
Oliver and Bennett's 4 pounds lighter than last year, but I think he was bragging that he was benching around 2 plates, and I'm like, that's a lot of weight.
Hard-working kids, him and his brother, Evan.
Yeah, and they're fun to coach. We had this Adam Meyer's dad was a state runner-up heavyweight.
Meyer Meat Company, not to do advertisements.
Pardon me?
The Meyer Meat Company. That's what
Oh, yes!
I had him in class. That's the only reason.
I had their first meat stick today.
There you go.
He brought it over, and 2 by Dylan Koss. You know, and he scored in the last 10 seconds. I felt Drew controlled that match, Matt, for 1 minute and 50, and he gives up a 3.
Yeah, you talked about it earlier. Yeah.
Well, it just, but you know, the thing about Drew, he doesn't get rattled about those kind of things, or some other kids do. Drew's just a good, tough, and a bright kid. Bright, probably too smart for his own good, but yeah, good football season. They got it was Pac-Man. I believe he worked for Pac-Man a little bit, doing some concrete. I mean, he's 190 pounds, pretty solid.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to use those weight room muscles to go out and lift some concrete. I would guess Pac-Man's got it. I got to throw something out for Nick.
Well, for and one opportunities, what's the and one equivalent in wrestling? We'll just pretend.
Yeah.
He probably would have been a good wrestler.
Who would have been?
Nick Pack would have been a good wrestler.
Wow, hey, I did not realize he's an NSIC ref.
Very, high up. When
Yeah,
he's
high
here,
up.
that's special.
Yeah, when he graces Baldwin, and he gets the nice. My son will drag home some really nice NSIC stuff. And nice takedown by Koss. And I would suspect, looking at the score, and I think we lost, a couple matches in here, and this is one of them. If we do end up losing, if we would have started at per se 144, might be some different results. But when you come out, go out through all of our forfeits, and you're already down, 28-0 or something. Sometimes the steam leaves because there's some matchups here with seeding, big seeding for the regionals. And Central's come to wrestle, and they're winning them.
Drew's not a natural blonde. Any idea what that's about?
Well, for the state football, but he's about the only one that still kept the hair.
I was gonna say, he must like it.
Well, Travis Kuhn. Trevor has cut it down. You still see some blonde in there. I will say Drew's is starting to turn a little yellow.
That's true.
But his mom's a hair designer, so when I start seeing the yellow, the hair's dying. But mom's a hair designer, so I'll let them worry about it.
Yeah. Won't question it.
Yeah, if we had gone from the 2 years ago weight classes, Wisconsin still has 14, but we stretched out. It used to be 170, 182, 195, 215, 220,
Yeah.
then heavyweight. Now they've gone 165, 175, 190, 215. The numbers showed that most 215 pounders were about 205. A lot of 95 pounders were 190. They really stretched them out. And I know when my son competed, they were starting to do it 5 years ago. I think looking to the future, you take a look at some of these kids. The kids just keep getting bigger.
Yeah, they do.
In Baldwin, I think all of our JV kids are 157 and heavier. So they're behind everybody. So people ask, well, why are you forfeiting? You got, 20 guys out. And I said, yeah, they're all heavyweights. So
Yeah, it doesn't.
next year we're going to have a lot of small kids in there, and we're going to have a lot of big kids. Now we just got to find the 144-pound kids, which isn't that your normal high school kid? I think it's 148 pounds. Well, we don't have them. So, we got a few nice. Drew's in a nice single leg. Very nice. He's just got to figure out how to finish this. In that position with he's got kind of the double unders. It's just, boy, is that a lot of pressure on your biceps. And I'm not saying Drew is not strong, but you notice that the leg is getting lower and lower and lower.
Yeah.
And his head's getting lower and his butt's coming tall. It takes a lot of work. So anybody's wondering why he's not finishing it, just go grab somebody's leg and try to lift it and walk around with it. Oh, well, being a Baldwin fan, I'm happy for the call, but under the rules that they had this year, technically that should have been a takedown. But I'm fine. Keeps Drew in there. But I'll give Mr. Koss a lot of credit on that, fighting off that single leg and getting in position to shoot a low single. That takes a lot of work. Oh. For our meet next Tuesday, yeah, you're right. I think one school's already pulled out, and I did not ask Newt earlier. So,
Yeah, 'cause originally it was at Clear Lake and Boyceville, I think, or
Yep.
something like that.
and both, Clear Lake and Boyceville, between those two are some prominent D2, D3 programs over the years. It's just, they're struggling too. I've talked to their
Yeah.
coaches at middle school, and oh, we've got Xander coming up. That's right. Everybody has yeah, Andrew to 165. That is a tall 165 pounder.
For Baldwin-Woodville,
Xander
Paulson.
Paulson. And him and Kane are brothers, but not brothers.
Mm.
And this has got to be, I would guess Kane isn't over 170. Brock Swenson here is a solidly built 190 pounder.
That was quick.
Now Brock's he's a high ranked kid at state at 190.
It's thick.
Yeah, he's thick. He's another doesn't play football.
He doesn't. I was going to say, what does he play in football?
Now that's he loves his wrestling.
Yeah.
River Falls has got a kid, Hutchinson, big, well built, 190 pounder. He's a sophomore, and he doesn't play either. I was talking to one of their coaches. It's a whole different. I'm not saying that they're specializing, but I think both of the two kids we mentioned really like wrestling, and they get out and do some fall stuff, and it's almost to the point the demands of high school sports. And I'm saying as a wrestling coach, we're at fault too, when we're trying to have open mats, and you don't mean to trample on another sport, but you end up kind of do.
Yeah.
We want all, schools like Baldwin, St. Croix Central need multi-sport athletes. I'm seeing, with this group of seniors, they had a great football season, but I know a lot of them, baseball was their sport. They love baseball, and you saw it last year too. So, and then, if you're, I tell everybody you got to get out for a spring sport. I tell all the middle schoolers, go out for a spring sport. You got to get out for track.
Yeah.
Or I don't care what you do. If you
Don't
don't
be
play
like
baseball,
your son and show up with Vans, shoes, and say, hey, you want to run a 4x8?
well, you're lucky he didn't run it barefoot.
Yeah, right. You would have if I said, hey, Max, against the rules, you can't.
Max still loves to run. I mean, I just look at 200 and what he gets up to in the summer now, going, you're a runner. But everybody's kids, which is great. Also, they're doing a lot of different things. I was shocked with past members of the Baldwin wrestling team. They'd get together, and that golfing got violent. I mean, they were competitive, and they were good golfers. I'm like, these Neanderthals, I've coached them in wrestling, and they're, par. No, you cheated. No, they actually did. And I'm like, okay. So, here's another, and talking about everybody specializing, Trevor Murdoch came out as a freshman. Got beat up a little bit, didn't win a lot, but now he's starting to turn that corner, and he's starting to do the beating. He's wrestling Noah Snedgoski. Trevor's a fun-looking linebacker.
Oh, yeah, he had a good season.
He is tough. His big thing is he is easy. So he's a fun kid to coach. I enjoy him. Really nice kid. And I watching him play football. He can play at that next level. And I think he can play.
He's only a junior, too.
Look at him. Keeps hitting the weight room. Gets his upper body a little bigger. Gets the 2 1/4. Boy, that'd be That'd be a linebacker, you know.
Gosh, I don't know if he played football in middle school.
I don't know if he did either. But if you're a Winona State or Duluth, you might be sniffing around and wanting some game films. Not to diss River Falls or any of the local ones, but he's a good athlete. And plus, I really like his shoes. I wish they were black. They're Rudis.
I'll do a zoom in on him.
They kind of look like the old saddle shoes, and I like them. I'd rather see, that's more of my son's college's colors, but I'd rather see more red or black.
Yeah.
But Rudis, Nike's really jumping into the shoe game with wrestling, especially with women. With wrestling.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
And the ones I grew up with, every Converse pony all had wrestling shoes, and they don't. But some of them are starting to float them back around again. Now, do you know it's Trevor? Not saying he's not a good young man, but he just threw his tape. He threw it off to the side.
I saw him throw something.
Yeah, I think he had a finger taped and it came off. Where Jaden Stave would have ran and put it in the garbage. No, I like that stuff. It kind of tells a lot of the personality. So Trevor got an escape. Others battling out on the feet. On the third period, I've been wrong the entire announcing, but I would say that if I'm Central, I'm taken down. I'm getting that escape. Unless Trevor can capitalize on a nice standing front headlock. Coach Fink got out there and got the foreign object. This isn't the old AWA anymore where the foreign object was a popcorn box. All right, Central did start on the bottom. Maybe I'm deserving of coaching a little. Trevor's putting on a nice ride. Trevor's getting a lot more experience. But sometimes it's kind of strange. Some kids are really good on top that are newer, but sometimes they make mistakes of locking hands. Nice.
I'm happy about something.
Trevor's putting it together. I like that attack he had. The kid. You gotta let him go after 5-7 seconds, or you get warned for stalling. But he fired right in on a nice double leg, right at the edge. Now it's getting to the point where the refs got to start talking to the Hammond kid about backing up. There's our Carter Paulson. He contacted Coach Newt about helping out, and
standing over there?
Yeah. And he said, I'll come in a little bit, and all of us coaches work outside of the school, so we start practice at like 3:45.
Okay. Yeah.
He's like, I can make it. And he started coming in. Now, last tournament I went to and I was with him, he's got veins sticking out of his neck, and he's into it. And it's great. He's a young 23-year-old. It's great to see those guys coming back, because all sports need those people to come back. Oh, nice, simple go behind. Now he's got the crab right in, and with his strength, this could hold him down. No. Hold on, Trevor. I don't know what it is in cross country. I do know that there's a little rivalry between Hammond and Baldwin.
Well, they're out for everything. It's natural.
It was so heated when I was in my day that we had assigned seating for basketball and volleyball games, and then it kind of went away.
Well, Nygaard is telling some story about Durand.
Oh,
And he said there was a time where Durand came here before a basketball game during the school day, trying to be, intimidating. But yeah, just stuff isn't like that. You go to student sections and there's nothing nowadays. I don't know where they are. Doing homework or something.
Well, we got Jake Koss, his younger brother was at 175, and Mr. Sam, and I can say this, a-hole.
Yeah. Does
So,
brother wrestle?
yes, Ryan is a freshman, very talented.
Tall, isn't he?
Tall wrestler, and I think he was a pretty good basketball player, but he chose to be in wrestling. And I think he might be a little dinged up right now. He's a fun kid to coach. He's a natural leader. So he's, we're looking forward to him. Kiefer's got big expectations next year. And then Sam's just coming off an injury from football. Well, fun kid. I believe he's going to River Falls also.
He is, yeah, that's another one. 3 of them.
Is he gonna play football?
I thought I saw something on Instagram or something. Yeah.
He was talking about it, but
Come on,
yeah, that's just kind of falling. He's got to dig his right foot in with his left and get off the mat. Yeah, so that brings the score 55-21. St. Croix Central over Baldwin-Woodville. So at that point, do we got to give any shameless plugs? Or you got it all?
Sponsors, so I don't know.
Yeah, go with the sponsors. I didn't know if you wanted me to say, get your internet from Baldwin Lightstream and.
If I look on here, you don't want to go double. There is a family chiropractor. There's all sorts of.
Yeah, I'm just reading the ones off the sponsor.
Logos.
Yeah, Prestige Landscaping, Aaron Van Rant, Schaefer. Hey, Chad Schaefer.
Yeah, he's on here, so that's good. I'm supposed to go there for a 401k or something.
He's going to be coming up to tomorrow night. I'm get to see Chad. I get to hang out with Chad for a little bit. Going to come watch Max wrestle and maybe his family if it doesn't get bad out. So
Yeah. Hope the weather cooperates.
So, well, good deal. Well, thanks for tuning in, and I know next Saturday we will be wrestling. I don't know about the duel on next Tuesday.
Yeah.
So that's all I got to offer.
All right. Have a good night.
Hey, you too.